Whiterun once again belongs to its rightful heirs. It's a glorious day for Skyrim. There is room in my court for a new Thane. It's an honorary title, mainly, but there are a few perks someone like you could make use of. However, I could only grant the title to someone who is known throughout my hold, and who owns at least one piece of property in my city. You help my people and purchase a house from my steward, and I'll make you my Thane. As you were, then. Then by my right as Jarl, I name you Thane of Whiterun. Congratulations. I grant you a personal housecarl to watch over your home and this weapon from my armory to serve as your badge of office. I'll also notify my guards of your new title. Wouldn't want them to think you're part of the common rabble now. Well, first and foremost, there's repairs to make and wounds to heal. Folks are depending on us getting the city back in working order. Once things settle down, I'll be looking to recruit more guards for the city, then shore up our stores of food and water. The Empire might try and take the city back, or worse, we'll get a visit from a dragon. We've got to be ready for both. Aye, with a certainty. It was Talos that helped us win back the city. I'm as sure of that as the sun rising in the morning. Might even build a new temple and put Heimskr in charge of it. I bet he'd like that. I must have misheard you. I thought you asked me to help you trap a dragon in my palace. Of course. You already saved Whiterun from that dragon. I owe you a great deal. But I don't understand. Why let a dragon into the heart of my city when we've been working so hard to keep them out? Alduin, the World Eater himself. But how can we fight him?
I've seen enough death.
Doesn't his return mean it's the end times?
I'm tired of a good fight. What do you make of that?
I don't know about such things. But I heard the Greybeard summon you. That's good enough for me. Now what's this nonsense about trapping a dragon in my palace? I want to help you, Dragonborn, and I will, but I need your help first. What do you think the Imperials would be doing while this dragon is busy slaughtering my men? No. I can't risk weakening the city while we are under the threat of enemy attack. I'm sorry. Then I would be glad to help you with your mad dragon-trapping scheme. But getting both sides to agree to a truce will be difficult at this point. The bitterness has gone too deep. Maybe... what are the Greybeards? They're respected by all Nords. High Hrothgar is neutral territory. If the Greybeards were willing to host a peace council, then maybe Ulfric and Tullius would have to listen. Aye, Dragonborn. Maybe you can stop the dragons, and this war into the bargain. According to legend, although I never thought to put the tale to the test, Jarl Olaf One-Eye it was, who later became High King. They say he shouted it into submission in single combat atop Mount Enthor, and brought it back to Whiterun. Numinex was the dragon's name. That's his skull decorating the main hall. My men will be ready when you are, Dragonborn. You have a truce to arrange first, eh? I was done talking anyway. Look!
I love the cold air. It's exhilarating. Perhaps it's because of my Nord blood, but there's something about it that makes me feel alive.
Wind, guide you.
You misunderstand our authority. The Greybeards have never involved themselves in political affairs.
I see.
The dragon will lead you to Alduin, but without the Jarl's help. Paarthurnax has made the decision to help you. This is the road we have to walk. Even the Greybeards must bend to the winds of change, it seems. So be it. Tell Ulfric and General Tullius that the Greybeards wish to speak to them. We will see if they still remember us. Deliver the message to the warring parties. If they will listen, I will do what I can to bring them to terms.
Sky above, voice within.
The Empire's ravenous hunger for Skyrim silver makes them fierce. But rest assured, we'll win the Reach and wrest it from their greedy paws.
The cliff racers made for excellent sport.
It's about time they turned their gaze from the heavens back to our bleeding homeland. What do they want? I have the greatest respect for the Greybeards, of course, and the dragon attacks are a growing plague. But the political situation is still delicate. Not all the Jarls are fully committed to supporting me as High King. I can't afford to appear weak. I can't agree to this unless Tullius himself will be there. Alduin, the World Eater of song and legend. If that's true, well, it changes the situation, doesn't it? Even Tullius may be forced to talk sense in the face of such a threat. Yes, I'll give Tullius one more chance to quit Skyrim with his tail between his legs.
If it's arms or armor you need, see Berend in Castle Dower. Bloody good blacksmith, that one.
Make it quick. I get enough delays from politicians. Ulfric's Stormcloaks' head rolling away from his lifeless body. The Legion's always been here. Without us to keep order, the provinces would fall into barbarism and lawlessness. Especially Skyrim. Take, for example, Ulfric Stormcloak and his little rebellion. But rest assured, his days are numbered. I'm originally from Cyrodiil, sent here at the request of the Emperor himself. I'm often ordered to places with problems that need fixing. Now, while I'm certain this is all terribly interesting to you, I have important matters to attend to. I trust this is something important? The Greybeards. What do those old hermits want with me? Why, there's nothing to discuss as long as that traitor Ulfric is in arms against his rightful emperor. They are getting to be a problem. But I wasn't sent to Skyrim to fight dragons. My job is to quell this rebellion, and I intend to do just that. Dragons or no dragons. You may have a point. It's getting difficult to even move troops around without attracting a dragon attack. By all accounts, the Stormcloaks are suffering just as badly. Even Ulfric might see the sense of a truce under these conditions. Yes, fine. I'll come to this Greybeard Council. For all the good it will do.
So, you've done it.
Men of violence are gathered here, in these halls whose very stones are dedicated to peace. I should not have agreed to host this council. The Greybeards have no business involving ourselves in such matters.
And I'm proud to call it home.
Yes. Which is why I allowed this violation of all our traditions. But regrets are pointless. Here we are. Take your seat at the council table, and let us see what wisdom we can find among these warriors of Skyrim.
So, Arngeir, is it? You know why we're here. Are you going to let it out?
You are not invited here. You're not welcome here.
We have as much right to be at this council as all of you. More, actually, since we were the ones that put the Dragonborn on this path.
Were you? Hubris of the Blades truly knows no bounds.
Delphine, we're not here to rehearse old grudges. The matter at hand is urgent. Alduin must be stopped. You wouldn't have called this council if you didn't agree. We know a great deal about the situation and the threat that Alduin poses to us all. You need us here if you want this council to succeed.
Very well. You may enter.
And so we meet again. But this time I know who and what you really are. I'll give you credit for boldness, but associating yourself with the Blades is a choice you will come to regret.
Is everyone here? Let's get this started.
Take your seat, and we can...
I'm here because it's required of me. But there's nothing to be gained by talking to that murderer. I understand this council was your idea, Dragonborn. I'm afraid I don't hold out much hope for success.
Please, take your seat so that we can begin.
I'm glad I finally got a chance to see this place. You've done well to even get the two of them in the same room.
When has any good ever come from talking to the Empire?
Dragonborn?
I don't know how you convinced Ulfric to talk to the Empire. Worse than a waste of time, if you ask me. If you can arrange an end to the fighting,
Take your seat.
Dragon's Reach is at your disposal.
I never thought I'd ever willingly stand in the same room with Tullius again. At least not without a weapon in my hand.
Dragonborn?
We should get started. Alduin is only getting stronger.
We must succeed here today.
Now that everyone is here, please take your seats so we can begin. I hope that we have all come here in the spirit
You
of...
insult us by bringing her to this negotiation? You're Chief Talos Hunter?
That
Yes.
didn't take long.
Here, here.
I have every right to be at this negotiation. I need to ensure that nothing is agreed to here that violates the terms of the White Gold Concordat.
She's part of the Imperial delegation. You can't dictate who I bring to this council.
Please, if we have to negotiate the terms of the negotiation, we will never get anywhere. Perhaps this would be a good time to get the Dragonborn's input on this matter.
By Ysmir's beard, the nerve of those Imperial bastards, eh? To think that we would sit down with that Thalmor bitch. I say she walks, or we walk. I'm glad we agree on this.
Very well, Ulfric. Enjoy your petty victory. The Thalmor will treat with whatever government rules Skyrim. We would not think of interfering in your civil war.
Ha! Skyrim will never bow to the Thalmor. Unlike your Imperial friends here.
You're lucky I respect the Greybeard's counsel, Galmar.
Legate, we represent the Emperor here.
Sorry, sir. It won't happen again.
Now that that's settled, may we proceed?
One moment.
Here we go.
I just want to make clear that the only reason I agreed to attend this council was to deal with the Dragon Menace. I have no authority to negotiate a permanent settlement, unless Ulfric is ready to sue for peace and turn himself over to Imperial justice.
Master Arngir,
We're
are
here
you
to
going to
arrange
just
a
let him
temporary
continue
truce to allow the Dragonborn here to deal with the dragons, nothing more. We consider even sitting down to talk with these rebels more than generous.
Enough posturing, Tullius. If you came to talk, let's get on with it.
Fine. Let's get this over with.
Are we ready to proceed? General Tullius, Jarl Ulfric, this council is unprecedented. We are gathered here at the Dragonborn's request. I ask that you all respect the spirit of High Hrothgar, and do your best to begin the process of achieving a lasting peace in Skyrim. Who would like to open the negotiations?
Our terms are simple. Riften must be returned to Imperial control. That's our price for agreeing to a truce.
Elisif, really going to be a party to this foolishness? Do you really think Ulfric will just turn Riften over because some Imperial general barked an order?
That's quite an opening demand, Tullius.
Ulfric, you can't be taking this demand seriously. We can hold Riften against any Empire can throw at it. Besides, Jarl Layla will never agree
We will do
to...
whatever I decide is in the best interests of Skyrim. Are we clear?
Yes, my lord.
Come on, Tullius. You can't seriously expect us to just hand over Riften at the negotiating table. You haven't been able to take it back yet. Why should we give it up now?
I am sure General Tullius does not expect something for nothing.
Of course not. What will you offer for Riften, Tullius? Some empty promises? Maybe some more Imperial bluster?
Enough, Galmar.
Jarl Ulfric, what would you want in return?
First, let me be clear. The Sons of Skyrim know from bitter experience that talking to the Empire is a waste of time. Or worse, Imperial promises are simply a way to lull you while they prepare a dagger for your back.
Aye. We haven't forgotten Markarth, Tullius.
But I accept the Dragonborn's invitation to this council, and I at least will negotiate in good faith. The council was your idea, huh? So tell us, what do you think Riften is worth? Yes, with Markarth in our hands, we'll be able to raid the Imperial supply lines out of Solitude. You've heard the man, Tullius. We've made you a fair offer. If you're really serious about this truce, you need to reconsider.
You disappoint me, Dragonborn. I accepted your invitation to this council, despite your known association with the rebels. But it seems you have no intention of dealing fairly with me. I can see now that this is not a negotiation at all. I know you, Ulfric. You have no intention of coming to terms. You're here to blacken the Empire's name, and I won't be party to it. If you think you can hold Riften, you're as deluded as you've always been. Soon enough, I'll have you back under the headsman's axe, and this time there won't be any dragon to save you.
As always, the Empire's fine words are worth nothing.
Stop! Are you so blind to our danger that you can't see past your petty disagreements? Here you sit arguing about nothing, while the fate of the land hangs in the balance.
Is he with you, Delphine? If so, I advise you to tell him to watch his tongue.
He is with me, and I advise you both to listen to what he has to say before you do anything rash.
Don't you understand the danger? Don't you understand what the return of the dragons means? Alduin has returned, the World Eater. Even now he devours the souls of your fallen comrades. He grows more powerful with every soldier slain in your pointless war. Can you not put aside your hatred for even one moment in the face of this mortal danger?
I don't know about the end of the world, but this dragon situation has gotten out of hand. If this truce will help the Dragonborn here put an end to that menace, we both gain. Remember that, Ulfric. Now, back to the matter at hand. You know I can't agree to these terms. The Emperor would repudiate this treaty, and I would be recalled.
Shores, bones, where will these demands end?
Out with it, then.
We want compensation for the massacre at Karthwasten.
You slaughtered the very people you claim to be fighting for. True sons of Skyrim would never do such things.
Damned Imperial lies. My men would never stoop to such methods, even in retaliation.
This is our
butchery
homeland, Tullius. All the blood spilled in this war is on your head.
So, Dragonborn, what do you say? I should have known better than to expect you to give us a fair hearing. Once again, the Empire takes the blame for the crimes of others. Don't hand me a mug of sheep's piss and call it Colovian brandy. These terms are still not acceptable.
I'm listening.
We want Kralder removed as Jarl of Winterhold, and an Imperial candidate put in his place.
What next, Tullius? Shall I just hand over all of Skyrim?
I guess I have no choice but to let the Dragonborn decide, although I'm starting to doubt your fairness. So, Dragonborn, what do you say? As I expected, you favor your friends. Come on, Ulfric. You have to give a little ground here. The dragons are a threat to us both.
Damn Imperial arrogance.
Out with it, then.
Never mind. I can see that these are the best terms we'll get from this council. So be it. The Empire at least puts the greater good above our own interests.
It seems we may have an agreement. Jarl Ulfric, General Tullius, these are the terms currently on the table. Riften will be handed over to Imperial control. Jarl Layla Lawgiver will step down, and Maven Blackbriar will become the Jarl of Riften. The Empire will withdraw its troops from the Reach, allowing Ulfric's forces unhindered access to Markarth. Jarl Igmund will go into exile, with Thongvor Silverblood taking his place as Jarl of Markarth. You both agree to this?
The Sons of Skyrim will live up to their agreements, as long as the Imperials hold to theirs. What about you, Elisif? Are these terms to your liking? Speak up! I'm sure General Tullius is waiting to do your bidding.
I have nothing to say to that murderer. General, you've proven yourself a good friend to Skyrim. I continue to trust that you will do your utmost to safeguard our interests.
Thank you, Jarl Elisif. I appreciate your loyalty. These terms blatantly favor the rebels. Everyone here knows that. But the Empire will accept them until the Dragon Menace is dealt with. After that, Ulfric, there will be a reckoning. Count on it.
Now that the Empire has been driven from the Reach, we can put a stop to the raping of her silver mines. That silver belongs in Skyrim.
Leg it with me. We have a lot of work to do.
Giving up Riften is a heavy price to pay for this truce, Dragonborn. I hope it was worth it.
Jarl Vignar, I assume you are familiar with the Dragonborn's plan?
Yes, I'm ready to do my part. Just say the word, and my men will help you spring this trap.
But the difficulty remains how to lure a dragon to Dragon's Reach at all.
By Talos, that's an excellent question. I hope you haven't forgotten that little detail.
I believe I can be of help here. I anticipated the problem. While you were arranging this meeting, I was busy in the library of Skyhaven Temp, an unguessed trove of lost lore. But the important thing is that the Blades recorded many of the names of dragons they slew. Cross-referencing this with Delphine's map of dragon burial sites, I believe I've identified one of the dragons that Alduin has raised up. Don't you see? The names of dragons are always 3 words of power, shouts. By calling the dragon with a voice, he will hear you wherever he might be. He's not compelled to, but dragons are prideful by nature and loath to refuse a challenge. Your voice in particular is likely to intrigue this dragon after your victory over Alduin. I think it's very likely that he will be unable to resist investigating your call. Ah, indeed. I'm no master of the voice, like these worthy gentlemen, but it is written here in this scroll. Oda Ving, winged snow hunter, as I read it.
When I return to Whiterun, I'll get my men ready to help trap this dragon.
The look on Tullius's face while the Greybeard read the terms was worth the trip.